All right, so I'm sure you've probably heard all this talk about broad match keywords in Google Ads and how you should now use broad match keywords and it works better than phrase match and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And in this video, I'm going to show you why I still believe that that's absolutely rubbish, at least in my experience, and why I am not using broad match and I'm still using phrase match, or if anything, I've actually switched to exact match keywords rather than going to broad match keywords. So I tested broad match keywords on a number of different client accounts to see if it's actually going to perform better, and I ran a test with it across multiple different industries to see if it really was going to do what everyone's saying. It performs better, it reads the landing page, all this stuff, right? And conclusively, across all three of these, I determined that broad match is not working. It is still doing exactly what it's done this entire time, where it is showing for keywords that are completely unrelated to the business, and it just does not outperform the other options. And so I'm going to show you here the data in these Google Ads accounts so you can see for yourself what kind of keywords it was pulling in and what was happening. The first one, this is a flood restoration company, and we tried to run Google Ads for them. The traffic on this one was lower overall because this isn't an extremely high volume niche. And so I decided to test out a broad match strategy to see what would happen here if we could get more volume. And so I ran the keyword flood restoration Auckland on full broad match, just that one keyword, just to see if it could pull in the traffic, because this one is where the data was coming from on both Google Ads Keyword Planner and SEMrush, showing this keyword gets the volume. So you can see there's only one keyword here in this ad group. You can see that there's some data here. We ran it for a month almost to try and get something in, and we basically got nothing. I'll show you the conversions. I think we got one conversion. We got two conversions, and we spent about $1,000 on this. You can see here, almost $1,000. We got two conversions. Now, if we take a look at the search terms, I'll show you what's going on. So here are the search terms for this ad group with this keyword, and you can see what was pulling in here. Now, I went in there very quickly and started excluding keywords from this so that it didn't keep showing. But what you have to keep in mind here is that if you did not go in here and do this, your ad would be showing for all of these different keywords, and you'd be paying for this. And this was not a cheap niche. These CPCs were like $14 to $20, so it's no joke, right? You can easily blow a couple $100 on some rubbish. If we take a look at this, look what was happening here. So the keyword, remember, was flood restoration Auckland, which was this one here. So we got a couple that were correct, few impressions, few clicks, but look at these other keywords that I had to exclude quickly. Auckland City Council drainage, absolutely nothing to do with this. Flood assessment report, maybe. How much does it cost to fix a leaking pipe in the wall? Absolutely nothing to do with this. Auckland Council drains, nothing to do with this. This one, kind of. This one, yes. This one, yes. Carpet drying Auckland, vaguely related at best. Flood check, maybe. This one, maybe. This one, maybe. These ones. Leaky home repairs Auckland. This, nothing to do with this keyword. It doesn't even include the same words in it other than Auckland. Residential drainage Auckland, completely different industry. Roof leak Auckland, again, completely different industry. Roof leak repair Auckland. Rot repair Auckland, you could argue maybe. Stormwater Auckland, nothing to do with it. Stormwater drainage, again. Auckland flood recovery, fine. This one, fine. But you can see here that a good chunk of these, maybe half of these keywords, and this is when I excluded them as soon as I saw them the day after. You can see they only got 1 or 2 impressions. They are completely wrong. And this is the kind of thing that Google is going to show your ad for if you do broad match. And this is in September of 2024. It's still doing it. There's nothing about roof leak repairs or stormwater drainage on our page or in the ads. It's getting that data from nowhere. So it's just broad shooting as wide as it can possibly get to get you clicks. And just so you know, that's only half of the data. It doesn't even show you the other half. So God knows what it was showing for the other half of the clicks that it won't even give us the data for, where the actual conversions came from, ironically. So I don't even know what was converting. So that's the problem. Now let's go to another one. This was a law firm, and we were trying to get wills and estates lawyers Melbourne. Now I wanted to target that specific keyword because this specific keyword was the one that was getting the data in. So interestingly with this one, it was pulling in some conversions, but the problem you have is that they were costing a lot and it was pulling in a bunch of search terms as well. So again, with this one, you can see here that we have just the one keyword. Now there is a bunch of negative keywords in this already. When I was running this, I'll show you here. You can see here that we already added a bunch of different negatives. Now some of these are after this campaign was running because I wanted to remove them, but there was a bunch of negative keywords. Now let's go take a look at the search terms report yet again. You can see here, look at this kind of thing. So remember the keyword was specifically wills and estates lawyers Melbourne. That was the keyword that we wanted to get, at least that topic. This is the ads that, these are the keywords that Google is showing our ad for. Legal aid Melbourne, biggest law firms Melbourne, fixed price wills, okay, yeah, fine. Lawyers North Melbourne, a stretch at best, But for this sort of thing, we'd have to assume that Google realized that that person was specifically looking for a will lawyer when typing this in. Now, the problem is I don't trust it enough to do that because of what I'm seeing here, this kind of thing. Legal aid lawyers, Melbourne. This is completely, like, it's so far of a stretch that the odds that that's going to convert is not very good. Then it's starting to do other law firm names, which you could argue may or may not be okay in this particular case. But again, I specifically wanted a particular keyword, which is finally this one down here, which only got 5 impressions. Yet all of the clicks came from all of this, half of which are completely unrelated. Then if we keep going down, again, it's just different law firm competitor names that's doing on its own. Best law firm in Melbourne, again, not specific to wills and estates. Best law firms Melbourne, again another one. Again, like if you take a look at all of these, best no win no fee lawyers, we don't want that. Best VCAT lawyers, biggest law firm, that's definitely wrong because these guys are not a big law firm, so that is definitely incorrect. Then more competitor names, like you can see here, the actual wills and estates terms are almost non-existent compared to all of the ones here that it's showing us. You can see how irrelevant all of these keywords actually are. Indian lawyer Melbourne, these guys are not Indian. So, you know, why is it showing for that? And that kind of thing is exactly what shows me that it's not actually matching to people who will convert. The odds that someone went out of their way to specifically search for Indian lawyer Melbourne and it shows them a law firm of people who is not a single Indian that works in there tells you that it's not matching correctly. And so that is why I do not still believe in broad match. It does not work. I'm seeing this across multiple accounts, as I said. We can keep going. The list keeps going on. You can see how many excluded ones there are. So unfortunately, it's just proving not correct. And now here's another one where this is 6 different ad groups because we were running them in different cities. However, you'll see the same thing with the search term. So I'm going to show you all of them. This is a car valuation based keyword ad group where I was trying to get car valuations. They do online valuations for cars. They're not free. You got to pay for it. So it's not like a calculator or anything like that. And then they also do car assessing. You can see here they do car assessments. And so all these are broad match, but they're all a very specific topic, right? And so you can see the same thing across. These are all just different cities. Same keywords, just in the different cities to try and get them in for those cities. So what we'll do is we'll go into these one by one and I'll show you the search terms as well. So car valuations, the first one, search terms again. So this one, you're getting market value of my car. That's kind of on track if you want to argue it. Maybe phrase match because we got value of car. We got things like Honda Civic 1998 price, Pickles auction sold prices, Toyota car ethos price. These ones, maybe. Australian car prices, not really. Toyota Corolla hatchback market value, maybe. Got car valuations a little bit. Classic car valuations, these are kind of all okay. Some here are okay. Australian old cars, absolutely nothing to do with this. Australia car price, wide stretch to count that as something to do with this. Audi price Australia, again, that's not a valuation. Price for a Ford EcoSport, Mini Countryman price, you can see that this has got nothing to do with this. And car prices in Australia, old car buyers, Melbourne, like this is so far unrelated to what we're trying to get searches for that there's no way you're going to justify this to round it off and go Google's optimizing for someone looking for this. It just isn't. At this point, we're talking like display ad advertising, which is not what Google search is. So therefore, this is another example of it. Look, we're going to keep going down and get all bunch of random stuff here. All these random car price searches for like different car models and things like that. Now, if we go into the car assessing one, this one's even worse. So I'll show you what's happening here. And by the way, you can see here that this got no conversions at all. So that tells you something. Then we've got car assessing. Now this one is really good if you want to see unrelated keywords. So remember, they were car assessing, accident car assessing, that kind of thing. We got Revs Check New South Wales, Rego Check New South Wales, car history, car report, VIN check, car history, know my details, New South Wales VIN check. The list goes on where it's more unrelated. Car history lookup, car history report, car service records, car jam. None of this has anything to do with car assessing specifically. Details about my car. Find my car details. Like Google obviously does not understand this industry. And I've noticed that with some are more hit or miss than others. And I've noticed that some of them, specifically with this car assessing one, because I've been running this account on and off for a couple of years now, it doesn't understand what car assessing is. And so if Google doesn't actually understand what the topic is, they will not be able to do this, or the algorithm won't be able to do this correctly because it doesn't understand what car assessing is. I remember when I ran this previously as well, we'd get so many car accessory accessory keywords that we had to filter them out. And I'll go back to the search keywords and I'll show you this because it'll be in the negative keywords. We had like hundreds of car accessory variations that we had to remove constantly because they kept popping up. So I'll scroll down to the car accessories and you'll see it'll be a leftover for sure. Car gadgets, car decor, car accessories. Here you go. There's all the different car accessories that we had to exclude because this kept popping up whenever we put in car assessor or car assessing because Google doesn't get it. Now I'll show you another one here, another car valuation one, different city this time. Same thing with the search terms. I'll just scroll through them because I think you're getting the point by now. I'll just scroll through them quickly so you get the idea. You can see here, same thing. Classic cars for sale, nothing to do with it. Car valuation, Canberra, wrong city. So it's showing us for the completely wrong city as well. Average depreciation of a car. Classic cars in Australia. That's a for sale keyword, not a valuation one. How much is a number one plate worth? Again, nothing to do with this. I don't even know what that is. I think it's a model of a car. Old car Australia, blah, blah, blah. Porsche prices, so on and so on. You get the idea. There's some more here. We can go into the car assessing one. Again, this is another city again. Car history, VIN check, car history. Even I'm getting bored of this, truthfully. You get the idea. You see here and scroll down here, all the same problems. And if you want to just take a quick look at the last one, I'll just skim through this. Same problem again. It was the same problem across all of them. And what I ended up doing across these is actually going straight to exact match. And this is actually now converting on the exact match. And I'll show you the data in a second. So you can see here, cash for cars, Gold Coast, completely irrelevant, so on and so on. Ended up just pausing and filtering through these because there were so many that were just irrelevant. Same thing here, last one for car assessing. You can see here, car report, car history report, all this stuff. Again, irrelevant, car jam, so on. That's not what they do. So you get the idea. Clearly, it is completely irrelevant. So you can see now why I just do not believe the broad match claims. People are telling you to do broad match. Google is pushing broad match. I've tested across at least 3 different accounts I've shown you here, and it simply doesn't work. And I've tested on some other accounts as well of my own. Same problem. It's just the same. I have not seen an account where broad match was the best strategy to this day. I still have not seen it. And so maybe on some big scale, we were just trying to get traffic, but for any small, medium-sized business who doesn't have an unlimited marketing budget, I would definitely not be going with a broad match strategy. In fact, these days I'd be going with an exact match strategy, the exact opposite of what they're saying, because exact match is actually starting to work quite well for me. I make a very specific list of exact match keywords. Basically, this list that I showed you here, which is exactly what I'm doing for these ad groups now, is this exact list of keywords that I have. I would put this as the exact match, and this campaign is performing way better and actually getting the leads that we want as a result of the exact match keywords. So that's it, guys. That's my opinion on Google Ads broad match keywords based on data that I'm seeing in the accounts that I'm actually managing. Feel free to agree or disagree with me if you want on this one, but I'm showing you the data of what I'm seeing, and I'm going to continue using not only phrase match, but I'm actually moving over primarily to exact match specifically across most accounts for this reason. And so hopefully this gives you guys an idea of what's going on. I don't know why everyone's pushing broad match. I have my suspicions that they might be incentivized to do so, but I'm giving you what I see as the truth here based on data that I'm looking at. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you'd like my help with Google Ads or SEO on a performance basis, go to dominatemarketing.io. You can book a call with me there. I'll see if I can help. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Catch you on the next one.